8:51 on a Monday night, the 20th of April, 2026. And what you're looking at here is NGC 4145. Last night I did not get a particularly good view of it. And the reason for that is, you see this very bright star right here? It was placed directly over the core of NGC 4145. And because NGC 4145 is a rather distended galaxy, and I'll give you the data in a moment, it looked like this star, whatever it is, it's in motion, it looked like it had a tail. Now that doesn't mean this isn't necessarily a comet, because it doesn't have a tail. It could be quite distant from the Earth, and it hasn't really heated up yet enough to be able to distend itself with a gaseous envelope. However, whatever this is here used to be, and I'll give you an idea, we're operating, this is a 30x view in a 75 arc minute roughly field. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's moved roughly 9 arc minutes over the last, I think it was 10 o'clock last night, so it would be 23 hours. Anyway, that's our kickoff view for this evening. And we are getting a rather nice view, despite the fact that it is not quite sky dark, and we've had quite a few clouds. It was completely cloudified 2 hours ago, and it's cleared up now. We are getting a pretty good view of NGC 4145, and that's going to be my intro for tonight's 4150 to 4200 NGC Tour series. Meanwhile, I'll put this video out, and if anybody wants to do some research to determine whether this is a comet or what kind of body it is, feel free to do it. I'm going to move on now. By the way, NGC 4145 is a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 11.3, quite large, 5.9 by 4.1 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase c.d., not much of a core, 48 million light years distant, means it's probably somewhere around 75k light years in diameter. RA is 1210.01 with a declination of plus 39 degrees, 52 minutes and 57 seconds. By the way, we're also getting a very fine view of a very faint galaxy, NGC 4145A, right about there. Okay, we're off to NGC 4150, galaxy in Coma-Virgo. We'll have to be quick. Oop, I need to initialize. Hold on. Once again, NGC 4150 is a galaxy in Coma-Virgo, smaller, of course, than the last one. Its magnitude 11.6, half the size, 2.3 by 1.6 arc minute, lenticular spiral, 45 million light years distant, RA 1210.33, with a declination of plus 30 degrees, 24 minutes and 6 seconds. NGC 4151 is a galaxy in Canis Venatici. A little bit out of position tonight. Magnitude 10.8, 6.8 by 5.3 arc minutes. I suspect this is our galaxy here. Very bright core. It's a spiral with a bar, lowercase ab. That core is way too intense, but what the heck. It has an annularity, so I'm going to push it up to 150x so we can see if we can, we can definitely make out the frontier on NGC 4151. It is 47 million light years distant, which puts it at about 100k light years in diameter. RA 1210.32, declination plus 39, 24, and 20 seconds. NGC 4152 is that brightest galaxy a little towards the top there. It's a galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 12.2, 2.3 by 1.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar and a lowercase c. It has a rather bright core, but it is 12.2 roughly. 98 million light years distant, puts it about 70k in diameter. RA is 1210.37 with a declination of plus 16, 01, 58. NGC 4153 is not a galaxy. It is, in fact, a globular cluster. In Coma-Virgo, the brightest stars are magnitude 14.5. It's a class 6, 61,000 light years distant. The delta between the total magnitude and the brightest stars is pretty narrow, four magnitudes, which means not a particularly well populated or dense globular. RA is 121006 with a declination of plus 18, 32, and 30 seconds. NGC 4155 is a galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 13.3. There's 3 forming a triangle here. It's in a 1.1 by 1 arc-minute elliptical galaxy. That's my best guess right now. It's going to take some research. I've already had several satellite passages, and I reinitialized because of it. 326 million light years distant means it's a little larger than our Milky Way, which is quite large for an elliptical galaxy. RA 121045, declination plus 1902, 26. Here is 150x view and dropping down to our standard 105 before we head out. Okay, we should be off to 4156, but there we go. Okay, NGC 4156 is a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 13.2, 1.3 by 1.2 arc minutes. Let's make sure we're at 105x. It is that galaxy that's quite close to another galaxy. I think it was I'm not sure, because that bright star isn't present now, so this is not 4145. 4156 is magnitude 13.2, 1.3 by 1.2 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase b. 307 million light years distant, puts it about 105,000 light years in diameter. RA 121049, declination plus 39 degrees, 28 minutes, 22 seconds. Good to get an early start. Here we have NGC 4158. It's probably that brightest galaxy there. Coma-Virgo, magnitude 12.1, 2 by 1.8 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase b. 113 million light years distant. That aspect ratio seems a bit broad for such a face-on galaxy, but it is the brighter of them. Pushing it up to 150x. It's at right ascension, 12:11:10, with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 10 minutes, 32 seconds. In terms of size, maybe 65,000 light years in diameter. NGC 4162 is that brightest galaxy right about there in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 12.2, 2.3 by 1.4 arc minute. Diminished core, spiral lowercase bc. That's basically what our Milky Way is. However, this has something embroiled in it, like a star, to the east. 120 million light years distant, puts it at about 65,000 light years in diameter. RA is 12:11:52 with a declination of plus 24 degrees, 7 minutes and 24 seconds. Let's get a larger, brighter view of it before we head out. NGC 4163 is a visible galaxy. It's also 4167 in Canis Venatici. Shift it over. Not much of a core on this one, is there? Magnitude 14, 1.9 by 1.6 arc minute. Yeah, it's an irregular galaxy, so it's just in its beginning phases of maturation. 10.8 million light years distant, given its size of 2 arc minutes. Man, this guy is less than 8,000 light years in diameter. RA is 12:12:09, declination plus 36 degrees, 10 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's push it up a little bit, capture a little bit more, and then head on out. NGC 4164. Let's check that out, make sure it fits, although there's something here as well. It's a galaxy in Virgo. Magnitude 15.7. 0.5 by 0.3 arc minute elliptical, so it should have a very bright core. This one's very distant, 759 million light years distant. Means it's probably somewhere about 100,000 light years in diameter. Now we have to figure out, let's see where we're at. We're at 12 hours, 12 minutes, 5 seconds with a declination of plus 13, 12, 15, 19. Should pretty much be in the center of the field. This one looks a little bright, but it is an elliptical, so it could be as little as magnitude 14. However, this one looks quite promising as well. AdventuresInDeepSpace.com. Consult with Steve Gottlieb. NGC 4165 is a neighbor, so this should help us disambiguate because it's going to be a brighter galaxy as soon as the data comes up. All right, data, please. Okay, galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.5, 1.2 by 0.8 arc minutes, and an annularity. Now, it could be this one here. Let's see what its morphology is. Spiral with a bar and lowercase ab. So it's probably not this one. This one looks more like either a lenticular or a elliptical. We'll see if it pops up. 86 million light years distant. Not much of a galaxy size-wise, 35,000 light years in diameter, perhaps. Right ascension is 12, 12, 11 with a declination of plus 13 degrees, 14 minutes, 57 seconds. Let's go ahead. I'm having a little trouble with the mouse right now. Push it up. Frame the 3 galaxies. I do believe this is our 4165 right there. As you see, 4166 should be visible in the field right now because it's magnitude 13.3, and I do believe it was. Galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 13.1, sorry. Smallish, 1.2 by 1 arc minute. Maybe not so bad. A spiral with a bar of the lenticular class, 317 million light years distant, puts it over 100K light years in diameter. Right ascension 12, 1209, declination plus 17, 45, 24. Let's push it up a little bit and head on out. NGC 4168 is quite visible in the field. It's the one that has the very faint 15.5, then the very small and diminished core galaxy, and now we're up to 4168, Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 11.2, 2.8 by 2.2 arc minutes, elliptical, 105 million light years distant, puts it at about 80,000 light years in diameter, a little smaller than Milky Way. RA is 12, 12, 17, declination plus 13, 12, and 16 seconds. No need to push the magnification up. NGC 4169 is a galaxy in Coma-Virgo. Very strange group of galaxies here. Distended amorphous irregular galaxy with a kind of an edgy on without a particularly bright core, brightest core but smaller. Oh, wow, very intriguing. Box shape. 69 is a galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 12.2, 1.8 by 0.9 arc minutes. So I'm going to assume it's this. We also have a transiting satellite. 175 million light years distant, puts it at about 95,000 light years in diameter. Lenticular spiral, okay, that qualifies. Right ascension 12, 12, 18 with a declination of plus 29 degrees, 10 minutes, 45 seconds. Let's go ahead and have a 150x view, and I'm going to pause it and reiterate so we can get rid of the satellite transition. Okay, here's our 150x 6-stack view without the satellite transition of NGCs 4169 and Confreres. As you might suspect, we also have a 4170 in the same field, Galaxy Coma-Virgo. It's also 4173. Magnitude 13.7, 4.3 by 0.8 arc minutes. I think we've identified this galaxy. It has not been described, but it's got to be an irregular or at least a spiral D. 51 million light years distant, puts it at about 65K in diameter. RA is 12, 12, 21, declination plus 29, 12, and 27 seconds. We got 17 stacks now. Very strange. 4170 is also 4171 without a reference to it, and 4173. Okay, let's watch this one from the beginning again. We're looking for NGC 4174. 2 stacks in. All right, I'm going to let it go up to 6 stacks. I'll give you the data. 4174 Galaxy Coma-Virgo, magnitude 13.3, 0.8 by 0.3 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase a. Probably that one. We've got 5 stacks now. RA is 178 million light years distant, so a smallie, maybe 50K. RA 121226 with a declination of plus 290856. We now have 7 stacks. And once again, that 150x view. Starting from the beginning again, NGC 4175, Galaxy Coma-Virgo. We are looking probably at this one here. Magnitude 13.2, 1.8 by 0.4 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase bc, 179 million light years distant, RA 121231, declination plus 29 degrees, 10 minutes and 6 seconds. Let's go ahead and push it up once again to that 150x view and then head out. Okay, we're halfway through, a little bit longer than I expected. We're in 16 minutes at this point. We're looking for NGC. There's a faint galaxy there. 4176, Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14.6, 0.7 by 0.5 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase b. Should have a brighter core than that. I'm going to back out again and give you some more data. All right, if I were to think it was any galaxy, since it's a lowercase b, 0.7 by 0.5, 249 million light years distant means it's probably about 65,000 light years in diameter. I do believe it's one of these 2 galaxies here. RA 121236, declination minus 90938, adventuresindeepspace.com. NGC 4177 is near a diffraction power line bar. We also have a transitor. It's a galaxy, nice galaxy with a faint core, however, N Corvus, the Crow. Magnitude 13, 1.7 by 1.2 arc minutes with a spiral with a lowercase c. That describes it. 182 million light years distant, our 105x view. RA is 121241 with a declination of minus 14 degrees and 49 seconds. Taking that 150x view and then heading out. NGC 4178 is that streak of luminosity with a barely perceptible core. It is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 11.4, 5 by 1.7 arc minutes, quite large. Parent size, spiral with a bar, lowercase cd, that makes sense, 58 million light years distant, puts this one at about 110,000 light years in diameter. RA 121246, declination plus 10, 51, 52. NGC 4179 is that bright streak of galaxy there, magnitude 11. 4.2 by 1.3 arc minute lenticular spiral, presented edge on, kind of like the sombrero, but smaller. 58 million light years distant, puts it at about 65K in diameter. Right ascension is 121252 with a declination of 1 degree, 17 minutes and 58 seconds north. And there's our 150x view. NGC 4180 is quite apparent in the field. If this indeed is it, it looks very similar to the last one. It's also 4182. It's magnitude 12.6. 1.5 by 0.5 works for me. Spiral with a lowercase ab, a brightest core. No, excuse me. 95 million light years distant means it's not particularly large, maybe 40,000 light years in diameter. RA is 121303 with a declination of plus 7 degrees, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. How about the 150x view? And then dropping back down again because I may not have started at 105. Heading out. Mouse is still giving me some issues even though I cleaned everything today. NGC 4183, the data has yet to come up, but let's go ahead and zoom in. We're further north, so it could be this streak of a galactic light right there. It's a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 12.3, 5.3 by 0.7 arc minutes. We're even seeing a bit of a plane in it. Spiral, lowercase c, not much of a core, 44 million light years distant, so maybe 65K in diameter. RA is 12, 13, 17 with a declination of plus 43 degrees, 41 minutes, and 53 seconds. It does warrant that 150x view. I'm going to go ahead and look for the next one as we get a few more stacks. We're up to 9 now. Our next study will be 4185. 4185 is that quite visible galaxy in the middle of the field. Very diminished core. Galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 12.1, 2.6 by 2 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar in lowercase bc. Boy, that's very similar to our Milky Way. It has an annularity. So let's push it up first. See if we can make out the frontier. Get a few more stacks. 179 million light years distant means it's quite large, maybe 110, 120,000 light years in diameter. RA is 12, 13, 22 with a declination of plus 28 degrees, 30 minutes, and 37 seconds. Backing back down for the optimal view and heading on. NGC 4186 must be a neighbor of that edge-on galaxy we saw earlier, very diminished. However, it's supposed to be magnitude 14.3. All right, give you the rest of the data. Galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 13.8, 1.1 by 0.8 arc minutes. Spiral with a lowercase ab, so a brightest core. 363 million light years distant puts it at over 100,000 light years in diameter. RA is 12.1406 with a declination of plus 14.4333, pushing the magnification up and endeavoring to get rid of that satellite passage, showing both galaxies, 4186 and a previous study. I wanted to capture a little bit more of both these galaxies as we navigated the 12 stacks. And at the more beautiful shot, which was 105x. NGC 4188, you know what those bars are. Let's see if we're outside of them or inside of them. I think that may be it, near this brightest star. Galaxy in Corvus, magnitude 14.7 by 0.6, works for me. AdventuresInDeepSpace.com, 192 million light years distance, so smallish, maybe 50,000 light years in diameter. RA is 12.1407 with a declination of minus 12.35 and 11. Come on, mouse. NGC 4189. Let's see if it's that galaxy there. Centering has not been particularly good tonight. I did a star alignment to Arcturus. It gave me great values for the model, but we're just not getting it. Look at that. Nice annularity there. But it's not claiming it. NGC 4189 is a galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 11.7. Okay, 2.5 by 1.7 arc minutes, so relatively football-shaped. Spiral with a bar, lowercase c, that works for me too. 84 million light years distant means it's probably about 60K light years in diameter. RA 12, 13, 47 with a declination of plus 13, 25, and 29, and a satellite past Spirit. Okay, here's 5 stacks without a satellite bisecting NGC 4189, I believe it was, because we're about to go on to NGC 4190. NGC 4190 has got a nice galaxy in the same 75 arc minute field view. However, this is probably our study here. Maybe that one will come up later, but maybe not in this 4150 to 4199 series. This is a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 13.3, 1.7 by 1.6 face on, but it's an irregular. You can see the distortions without much of a core in it. Cumulative magnitude, however, is 10.8, no distance value. I would estimate it's pretty proximal to us, maybe 20, 30,000 light years away. RA is 12, 13, 44. Declination plus 36 degrees, 37 minutes, 58 seconds. Mouse, please. And we'll push it on up to 150x before heading on out. NGC 4191 is a couple of galaxies in the field, but it's got to be, we'll see the data. Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 12.8. I'm going to go with this one since things have been drifting towards the east. 1.2 by 0.8 arc minutes, also quite small. Let's make sure we've got our 105x view. 121 million light years distant puts it about maybe 35,000 light years in diameter. RA 121350 with a declination of +7, 1202. Okay, this is probably the brightest galaxy of the evening. Oh yeah, this is a galaxy that was in the field with, I believe, this other one earlier. And unfortunately, it's further east, so got a little bit out of order in the NGC catalog. NGC 4192, galaxy in Coma-Virgo, spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 58 million light years distant, puts it at about 180,000 light years in diameter. Pretty large for a Coma-Virgo galaxy. RA is 121348 with a declination of +14 degrees, 54 minutes and 0 seconds. And if you believe that Charles Messier or Pierre Méchain first saw this galaxy, you would be correct. I believe it was Pierre Méchain, using a 6-inch speculum mirror, replacing the 4-inch refractor that had been used up to about NGC 80, I do believe. NGC 4192, wow, this is really out of order here, isn't it? Maybe this galaxy here, because it's further east, it should have been a lower number. That happens a lot in the catalog. However, this one's further to the west and should have come first, but it may not have ever been discovered during the era of eyepiece astronomy. NGC 4192A is a galaxy in Coma-Virgo. It's magnitude 17, 1.3 by 1.1 arc minute. Ooh, they would never have seen this. And it's too large. This is much too bright, especially for a spiral with a lowercase cd. We got to be looking elsewhere in this field. There is a faint galaxy over here. However, let's go ahead and push up magnification up and see what else we can pick out. There is a faint galaxy right here between this pair here, and I suspect this is our NGC 4192A. Typically, the A's and B's and C's are fairly close to the main galaxy in the series. As I said, magnitude 17, which puts it about magnitude 15.4. Or 16.4. I'll have to verify this at adventuresindeepspace.com. Right ascension 12, 13, 26, declination plus 14, 46, 20. This would be one of the faintest galaxies imaged or discovered at the eyepiece in the 19th century. Okay, we got to start moving much more quickly. We're coming up on 30 minutes here. We're looking for NGC 4193, galaxy in Virgo. I bet you it's this one. Near Messier 98, magnitude 12.3, 2.2 by 1.1, spiral bar, lowercase bc, makes sense, 114 million light years. RA 121353, declination plus 13, 10, and 21. 4196, after skipping a few further north galaxies, is a galaxy in Coma-Virgo, magnitude 12.8. 1.2 by 0.9, lenticular, 183 million light years, 12, 14, 29, with a declination of plus 28, 25, 25. NGC 4197, visible in the 30x field, is a nice edge-on galaxy in Virgo, 12.8, 3.4 by 0.6, spiral lowercase c, 89 million light years, RA 12, 14, 38, declination plus 5, 48, and 20. Okay, the last two galaxies were in Ursa Majoris, way too far north, so we'll end up landing with this galaxy, which I believe was 4197. Let me go back to it first. Okay, what we're about to see here now is 3 stacks of 30-second exposure, and we just watched it brighten up a little bit in the field of NGC 4197. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 12.8, 3.4 by 0.6 arc minutes, spiral with lowercase c, 89 million light years distant. Puts this one about maybe 85,000 light years in diameter. RA 121438, declination plus 5 degrees, 48 minutes, 20 seconds. We're now going to have 4 stacks. And with that, I am about to say carpe noctem.